Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, and in the headlines, the death of Shock G of the Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance, same song. They had a lot of hits in the early 90s, and of course, he was well known for the way he presented himself in his music videos at his concerts, as you see in the picture in front of you. But he died, reportedly, his body found today in a hotel room in Tampa. TMZ broke the news like is so often the case in the world of celebrity death. TMZ always makes me feel like that Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Nightcrawler, where he starts making the news stories. But, anyhow, TMZ broke the news, his death in Tampa. Pretty much everyone else reporting on it is mentioning that he was found in Tampa. And again, we've talked about a lot of deaths connected to Tampa this year, where the Super Bowl was and where it was also won by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, Tampa just won the Stanley Cup, nearly won the MLB World Series, and then won the Super Bowl as soon as Tom Brady went down to town. But what I thought about, knowing what I know right away, is, wow, today is April 22nd, the 112th day of the year. A day I wrote about in both my books, because we know what connects to April 22nd, the 112th day of the year that we talk about all the time that big tech doesn't want us to talk about. But this year, it's the fact that in Gematria, Super Bowl also equals 112. So on the 112th day of the year, a big-time celebrity dead on this day in the city where it was played. And look at all these things. His birth name, Greg Jacobs, has the Gematria 57. Remember, when you write out 57 as a word, it equals the same numerical value as Super Bowl and championship. We talk about this pattern each year with the 57s and the Super Bowl. You know, year after year, same exact things. Another 112 is Brooklyn, because that's where he's from. His community is Brooklyn. So, they say he kind of relocated to Oakland, the Bay Area on the West Coast, but he's from Brooklyn originally, as are a lot of entertainers. And Brooklyn's got that 112 Gematria, as does Super Bowl. And 112 is a very special number. But the other thing that stands out in a big way today is the date numerology. Today's got the 67 date numerology. And again, these suspicious celebrity deaths in connection to number 67. Words like blood sacrifice and human sacrifice equal 67. Words like satanic and soul equal 67. Again, I always go back to Bob Dylan telling Ed Bradley on 60 Minutes that he would have never been famous had he not sold his soul. And then Ed Bradley had a big laugh about it. And then he didn't live much longer. But just the same numerical patterns day after day, presentation after presentation. Keep in mind 67 is also the 19th prime number, and that number had a lot to do with this year's Super Bowl. Brady won his latest Super Bowl. His first ever was 19 years earlier over the other team from Missouri. The Rams were in Missouri when Brady beat them in Super Bowl 36. Then 19 years later, Super Bowl 55, Brady beats the Chiefs, also in Missouri. And don't forget, they announced the deaths of Butch Reed, former Kansas City Chief wrestler, and Leon Spinks right before the Super Bowl. Both of those men from Missouri, both professional athletes, one from St. Louis, the other from Kansas City. And don't forget, Leon Spinks was known for beating the GOAT, Muhammad Ali, holding him to 55 career wins at the time, and then his death announced right before Super Bowl 55. Plus in Gematria, Leon Spinks is 55. But here's the other big pattern. February 7th was the day of Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. From that day to the death, April 22nd, is 74 days. We're always talking about... Did I forget to put on the list? Okay, funny. I forgot to put the keyword up there. But we're always talking about the same pattern with rappers and death in 74. Again, with the most simple cipher. A is 1 up to Z is 26. Rappers 74. Just like killing, just like Jesus, just like cross, just like Messiah, just like gospel, just like parables, and again, just like Machiavelli. Because again, Tupac, right after his death, there was the Machiavelli album put out on, remember, the 5th of November, the big Jesuit day, the Society of Jesus, but Tupac on the cross with the rap name Machiavelli, a play on Machiavelli, who faked his death. And again, when his mother was announced dead, they saved the news for May 3rd, the real Machiavelli's birthday. But again, we're always talking about the rapper deaths in 74. And again, the word rapper itself is 74. Just like an alias, like Machiavelli, like cross, like killing. These Jesus rituals always done with the rappers, the Society of Jesus. So, again, 74 days after the Super Bowl, he's found dead in Tampa, the rapper. And, again, all roads do lead to Rome, but I think it's funny I forgot to put rapper on the list. Okay, so rapper's 74. Think about this. Holiday is 74. Think about this nation's birthday, 7-4. If you use the alphabetic order and rules numerology, notice how Independence Day is 74. July 4th, 7-4 in the U.S. But anyway, holiday, killing, cross, Jesus, Messiah, gospel, parables. For those who don't know, gospel's the story of Jesus. Jesus spoke in parables. Words like Masonic, Jewish. This practice of coding numbers into words is a Jewish practice. Comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah's Book of Formation, the opening page says God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. Anyhow, Jewish 74, occult, English, Gematria, that's the practice of coding numbers into words. Again, 3 of the first presidents died on July 4th, 7-4. Adams and Jefferson died the same day, July 4th, 1826, and then 1826 days later, Monroe died on July 4th, 7-4. So, again, it goes beyond rappers, but just... By the way, Tupac's also 74, and you just run the alphabetic order in reverse. And again, that's how we realized that you had to run the alphabetic order in reverse, too. It was the other half of the code. Tupac 74. You see how Tupac's 61-74? Look at cross. 74-61. Jesus is the same way. And 61 comes from sacred geometry. It's the number in the flower of life, the shape that represents God. The word God is written G-D in Judaism. It's polite to not spell it all the way out. G's the 7th letter, D's 4, 7-4. Again, this whole practice of letters and numbers has to do with Kabbalah, which has to do with understanding the way God or the Creator works in that spiritual belief system. So anyway, Shock G announced dead at 57, a number connected to championships and the Super Bowl. And look, you guys, when you write out 57 as a word, you see how it's 131. Look at championship in the same cipher, 131. Look at Super Bowl. We're teaching about the same patterns year after year. Super Bowl, 131. When you run it in reverse, 112, like the 112th day of the year. These numbers constantly associated with championships. Like, look at NBA Finals. It's 57, right? Look at World Series, what the baseball championship is, 57. So on and so forth. This number always finds its way into championship riddles. And so anyhow, Greg Jacobs, Shock G's birth name, dead at 57, from Brooklyn, dead on the 112th day of the year, in Tampa where the Super Bowl was, 112, dead on the 67 date numerology, familiar pattern with suspicious premature celebrity death, found dead in a hotel, unknown reasons. So often this is the story. And again, from his birthday, or not from his birthday, from the day of the Super Bowl to the death, 74 days, number that's so often around death and killing with rappers. And it's funny, I forgot to put the word rapper on the list. But, yeah, his name also had some other fateful gematria. And then the other football connection is from his birthday, August 25th, to his death today was his 241st day of his age. The 53rd prime. Remember, 53 is a big number with football. In the NFL, it's a 53 and a third-yard wide field, a 53-man roster. If you write out Vesica Pisces, it equals 53. That's the shape of the football in sacred geometry. And so again, dead on his 241st day of his age, the 53rd prime, big football number. Brady, his last Super Bowl was 53 over the Rams, just like Super Bowl 36 was over the Rams, but back when they were in Missouri. And his father is who TMZ first got the information from, Edward Racker. It's interesting that his name's also 57. I'd like to know more about his father. Was he in the entertainment? Was Shock G born into the business somehow? But some things can be coincidental. But his father's name, Shock G's father's name is 57, like entertainer. And we were talking a lot about 57 when Prince died, and Charlie Murphy, who was part of the Dave Chappelle skits about Prince, and 57 in entertainment. Also a big number with the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite. Again, the secret societies in D.C., Georgetown equals 57. It was established the year George Washington turned 57 in 1789. And Scottish Rite 57. Again, you got the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in D.C., and you got the Jesuits. 57 is a number related to time as well. Moon is 57. So the moon's on the 19-year cycles. 57 is divisible by 19. 19 three times is 57. Again, moon is 57. The 19-year cycles of the moon. And they also mention in this article about his death, they mention how Shock was also known for his collabs with Tupac. He's featured on Pac's 1993 song I Get Around, and he was one of the producers on Tupac's 1991 debut solo album, Tupacalypse. And then it mentions that in 91, they did the music video with Tupac for Same Song. Same Song has that Gematria 30. From 91 to 2021 is 30 years later, 91 was a big year for him. The thing that's not nice about 30 is words like slavery equal 30, Tuskegee 30, the N-word 30. And again, these patterns happen persistently. The other year when we had Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder, Fury got his 30th win and kept Deontay on 42 wins. And again, when you run it in reverse, slavery's 42, Tuskegee's 42, the N-word's 42, 30, 42. Same numbers again and again. And biblical numbers. Again, the Society of Jesus is who's behind all these rituals. Our language and our calendar come from the Catholic Church. Pay attention to what they do in the world of hip-hop, how they dress up these rappers as Jesus, how they die by these numbers that are encoded in the language that sync up with the numbers from the scripture. Again, it's not hard to see. By the way, Tupacalypse has gematria of 145, like Gregory Jacobs, like Catholic. Remember, there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament than the Protestant Old Testament. Israel was established 14/5. The Jesuits, who operate on behalf of the Catholic Church, were created by Jews who converted from Catholicism. Brooklyn. They even mention at the end how he collaborated with Prince, KRS-One, and Dr. Dre. Well, of course, Prince died at 57. Remember, Prince died April 21st, 4/21. He had the song I Would Die For You, where he spelled it with the number 4 and the letter U, and used the 21st letter. So I Would Die For You is I Would Die 4/21, the day he died on the Queen's birthday. And again, he was 57. And then it was Eddie Murphy's brother, Charlie Murphy, dead at 57, who was in those skits, again, with Dave Chappelle, who disappeared after he figured out something weird was going on in Hollywood. But what I'm going to do real quick is call Jonathan, because Jonathan wanted to get on here. And congratulations to Darrell. Darrell's having a good day, unlike Shock G. Darrell, if you're listening and you want to go on the air, I bet you Darrell's met Shock G before, because Darrell used to work at Houston's Magic, I think is it Magic 102 something? Whatever the Magic hip-hop R&B station is in Houston. Darrell used to work there. He got to meet a lot of people. But let me call Jonathan and see what he's got, because Jonathan will know a lot more than me. And we'll do a better live stream later, but I told Sweet Lady it's going to be real quick, and then Jonathan's like, let's live stream, and I'm like, that's what I want to do, but I just told... Why'd Shock G have to die tonight? Because I just told, Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Yeah, another one, man. What are your first thoughts?
Well, my first thoughts are, this is going to be the never-ending book, because every time I try to end it, somebody else drops dead.
It's crazy, isn't it? Big names this year, too. Big names.
Yeah, this is huge. Shock G. With Digital Underground, I remember when they came out, and I remember when they had that song with Tupac, same song, that song you were just talking about. And I remember when they brought Tupac out, like they were carrying him, like he was the king. And when they introduced him, they carried him out. they were holding him, and they introduced him like a king, and the rest is history.
Right.
But yeah, this is just breaking news, and I like how you broke it down. I mean, remember you were talking about the 57s and how they found them dead in Tampa.
Right.
Remember the wide receiver they found dead in Brandon that played for the Bucks.
Vincent
and
Jackson.
Brandon is Vincent Jackson, and that's real close to Tampa.
Yeah. Yep. And that was a big ritual.
But it's just weird how they just found them dead in a hotel. There's no more details.
And that's like Vincent Jackson found dead in a hotel too.
Exactly. Yep.
I can't believe we're still having to explain this stuff to people at this point. It's like people should have figured out the pattern by now. I mean, how many times have we talked about dead rappers and just like 74? I mean, come on.
Yeah, over and over and over again. Like, I mean, I just found I just got some more numbers. So there was a versus on 420 between Redman and Method Man. And
that's not going to be good for probably one of their longevities.
Yeah, exactly. Because when DMX, so Method Man, I'm just gonna add another 49 to all the piling 49s that we have, and I've noticed that 49 has been a big number this year. So Method Man, at the time when he battled DMX, when DMX battled Snoop in a versus last year, Method Man at that time was 49 years old. He's 50 now, and Redman's 51. And it was cool though the way they did it though, because it was almost like a concert. Redman brought out EPMD, and Method Man brought out members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Nas has that song about EPMD with the goats in it.
Yep. I'm kind of surprised they're still alive. But yeah, I just wanted to what I wanted to point out about the number 11 is that DMX died on 4/9/2021, and then 11 days later, 4/20, we get the verses with Method Man versus Redman, and it had a date numerology of 11. And there's just lots of 49s in the DMX stuff, and I heard you even after DMX died. I heard you bring up, I heard you talk about in one of your videos. You were talking about the number 49 again.
49 is that one of their numbers. I always associate with Revelation, because they use that number in a lot of prophecy rituals, and I think that again that's what it is, because again it's like they're fulfilling prophecy, and they use their entertainers symbolically along the way. It's like to remind you the Bible story's alive, something like that.
All right, and that's what I wrote here about DMX. Let me show you what I wrote here. Yeah, it's about prophecy, and Lord is 49.
Yeah. By the way, DMX died 38 days after his manager's birthday?
Oh, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, he did. Huh. He died 38 days after his manager's 59th birthday, too. I think his manager is Steve Rifkind.
Steve Rifkind. Oh, I wrote about him in here, too, yeah.
Yeah,
Steve Rifkind.
His birthday is March 2nd. He turned 59 on March 2nd. And DMX died 38 days after his birthday. For people who are new here, rappers 38, so is death, murder, killing, R.I.P., the movie poster Murder by Numbers. They code the 38 right in the letters. Again, the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. Murder's 38 and 83. But yeah, DMX died 38 days after his manager's birthday. So.
Wow. Well, just to review, I know you heard a little bit of this, but just to review, DMX was pronounced dead on 4/9/2021. Darkman X equals 49. He died on Good Friday, 49. He has a song called Angel. featuring Regina Bell. Regina Bell is 49 and 59. Lord is 49 and 59. Revelation is 49. He has a song called Coming From featuring Mary J. Blige. Coming From equals 49 and 59.
Oh, Jonathan, just to remind people, in terms of what's going on in hip hop with the Revelation thing, Busta Rhymes again just came out with Extinction Level Event 2, which plays on Revelation themes, and it came out 22 years after the first Extinction Level event. And again, that's how many chapters are in Revelation, 22. So, speaking of 22, what's today? Today's the 22nd. 22 men on the football field. Numbers, master builder numbers. So,
and one thing I can say about Shock G is that I noticed that a lot of rappers who didn't really take themselves that serious, they've had a lot of success. Like for example, like Will, and I know they're a part of the gang, but like Will Smith, he never really took himself that serious. He had a lot of success. Eminem, when he first came out, he joked. He used to joke on himself. Shock G from Digital Underground, his alias was Humpty Hump, and it was a really entertaining song, and it was and you looked at him like he was a comedian, and it's just interesting how you don't have to rap about killing and violence and drugs to be successful, and that's what a lot of young people think. But Shock G and Digital Underground, they had massive success, and their songs were about partying and having fun and jokes.
right. Yeah, they definitely weren't to be taken seriously. And again, I never got to meet Shock G, but I worked with a woman in Seattle who used to be in his circle, and she always explained that he was like he was a great person. He was very fun to be around and good energy and very positive, and she always spoke highly of him. So, behind the scenes, I guess he wasn't a bad guy at all. But again, in his music, what always came through too is just like you just said. But again, he probably, as a young man, he probably did sign on the line somewhere, and today's the day he's paying his dues, I guess. So
it's interesting that somebody that was, like his music was about comedy, at that group Digital Underground, and they introduced Tupac to the world, who was obviously more serious in his music.
sure, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I just wanted to add to a little bit more about DMX, and keep in mind that the key number with the DMX death is 49, as well as 59. And so DMX died in White Plains, New York, equals 94. The date can be written 4/9 or 9/4, like 49 and 94. The square root of 49 is 7. He died 7 days after his alleged overdose, April 2nd, 2021. He was denied a record deal by Puff Daddy before he signed the Def Jam. Bad Boy Records, Puff Daddy's record label, Bad Boy equals 49. Puff told him in his face that he didn't think he was marketable. So DMX participated in a versus battle against Snoop on July 22nd, 2020, kind of like 227, which is the 49th prime number. Timbaland and Swizz Beatz created versus Swizz Beatz, 49. Timbaland was 49 years old when DMX died. Snoop Dogg was 49 years old when DMX died. Snoop Dogg equals 49. And of course now, Method Man was 49 years old when they had the battle.
How old is Redman?
51. So DMX has an album called Grand Champ equals, the word Grand Champ equals 49 and 50. DMX is dead at 50 years old, one of the biggest rappers in America. And like I mentioned to you before, this is the biggest rapper to die since the Notorious Big, in my opinion. One of the biggest rappers in America. America equals 50 and 49. Mary J. Blige grew up in Yonkers just like X and the group The Lox did. Mary J. Blige was 50 years old at the time of X's death, meaning she was 49 years old when Snoop and DMX had the versus battle. So Mary J. Blige was also 49 when they battled. He has a song called Goodbye. The song is 4 minutes and 49 seconds long. And DMX, of course, died on Lil Nas X's 22nd birthday, 4/9/2021. And Lil Nas X has an album called Seven. And from the 1-year anniversary of Pop Smoke's death, 2/19/2021, until the day DMX died, is exactly 49 days. Professor X, a member of the hip-hop group X Clan, died when he was 49 years old. And he was in that group called X Clan. Martin Luther King Jr. was buried on 4/9/68. And DMX has an album on Seven Arts Music titled Redemption of the Beast. Redemption of the Beast equals 94. DMX is dead during the coronavirus pandemic. Coronavirus pandemic, 94. Slipping, one of his biggest songs, equals 94. So Swiss and Timberland sold Versus to Thriller. So Thriller is an American video sharing social networking service. Thriller equals 94. Who Swiss and Timberland sold Versus to?
Okay.
And on the album Redemption of the Beast, he has a song called 56 Bars. 56, of course, is the big number. Of course, 56 is huge. And so now we talked about this before. The powers that be gave us Malcolm X, then DMX, and now we have Lil Nas X. Think about this. First, we get Malcolm X, the revolutionary, vocal human rights activist and minister. Then we get DMX, the alpha male rapper who loved dogs, could bark like an actual dog, loved cars, women, and drugs. DMX has an Exodus 1.7 tattoo on his neck. Exodus 1.7. He had 17 children. Rap equals 17. Kill equals 17. And he has Exodus 1.7, kind of like another 17 tatted on him.
Right.
So he was a loud, rough, and tough rapper that did not care about what other people thought about him. DMX was very spiritual and had plans on becoming a preacher. It's no coincidence that DMX had an overdose on Holy Week, which is 3/28/2021 until 4/3/2021. So he had an overdose on Holy Week, this spiritual rapper that has a prayer on all his albums, that he used to start his concerts with the prayer, and he used to end his concerts with the prayer. So it's no coincidence that we get the news of his overdose during Holy Week. So now we have Lil Nas X, who's one of the most popular musical artists in the world right now. He's the most successfully openly gay rapper in hip-hop history. He has a video where he gives the devil a lap dance. He came out with 666 Satan shoes that allegedly sold out in less than 1 minute. Each one of these shoes allegedly has 1 drop of human blood in the soles. Swizz Beatz is a producer that produced a lot of X's songs. Swizz was also a member of the Rough Riders crew, just like DMX was. Rough Riders equals 49, just the term Rough Riders. Rough Riders equals 59. Just the term Rough Riders is 59. And Swizz produced Rough Riders Anthem, and this is one of DMX's biggest songs. Rough Riders Anthems equals 201. So Rough Riders Anthem 201. From the day the other X died, XX Tentacion.
You know what? I got to chime in with something about that. He died 102 years after Teddy Roosevelt died, who's the Rough Rider in history. So the 201 with the song, the reflection of 102, how those numbers always go together. And again, Teddy Roosevelt died in 1919. He's the original Rough Rider. So 102 years before 2021.
Interesting. So that's I'm assuming that's how they got their name.
There's got to be a connection. He's the Rough Rider in history. So.
Right, but that's interesting because you have, DMX was the face of Rough Rider Records, or the crew, and then Jay-Z was the face of Rockefeller Records, and obviously Rockefeller, that name is infamous.
Right.
Yeah, that goes to show you they're not coming up with these names themselves. It's like an ode to history, like a tribute to history.
You know how we got the news about DMX being like a vegetable on April 3rd, the 4321 thing, that the 93rd day of the year? He actually died 93 days after the anniversary of Teddy Roosevelt's death, in 102 years and 93 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's got to be something to that.
Huh. And these crews, they dominated hip hop in the late 90s, early 2000s. Rough Riders, Rockefeller, Bad Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of funny when you try to think about like the Rockefellers who've been doing their thing since about the time of even before, but around the same time that Teddy Roosevelt was president, that is like when they were getting big and powerful. And why are the hip hop labels paying tribute to the Rockefellers and then Rough Riders, Teddy Roosevelt, things that happened, 100 years before they were around? So.
Exactly. Why not if you're gonna if you had the power to name your own label, why not if you want to make a tribute to history, why not call it Harriet Tubman Records? You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, or Martin Luther King Entertainment, or you know what I mean? Like, why not, if you want to do an ode to history, why not do an ode to Black history? Right. If you're a Black label, why it doesn't make any sense. Why you giving a tribute to Rockefeller Records or Teddy Roosevelt?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
did you have anything else on the Shock G death tonight?
On Shock G, no, because I just found out about it.
Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm just putting it all together live.
Yeah, we'll do another one. Well, I told Sweet Lady that I wasn't going to go on the computer tonight, and then I found out Shock G died, and I was like, I said I'll be real quick. I won't take more than 30 minutes, but I probably already used up more than 30 minutes, but again, it's just like, it just this stuff happens so often, man. It feels like deja vu. It's like anytime I tell Sweet Lady that I'm not going to do something, then it's like somebody dies like this, like, man, I got to cover this right now, so.
Yeah. And, but I mean, just what you covered alone is enough to start. Just the fact that he's 57, he died in Tampa, obviously where the Super Bowl was, where Tom Brady, who's considered the GOAT, just won a Super Bowl. And remember the album I talked to you about, GOAT in Human Form by Raulo Rodriguez, came out 73 days before Brady won the Super Bowl. To go along with all the other 73s,
right.
As far as that ritual goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just let me just all I got on Black Rob, because remember I was doing Black Rob, and then all of a sudden I heard about the Shock G thing. But just to bring up, you brought up Steve Rifkin real quick. So DMX, according to what this says, right? DMX has sold over 74 million records. Exodus, the word Exodus equals 74, one of DMX's son's names, and he also has that tattooed on his neck. So he sold 74 million records. Exodus equals 74. Steve Rifkin, his manager, equals 74 and 61. Heart failure equals 61 and 74. Jesus 61 and 74, and of course rapper Messiah 74. So just to add, because you brought up Steve Rifkin, so just to add to that, right now I am working on the Black Rob thing. I found out that he was born in Buffalo, um, but it's just crazy how they were both on that song 24 Hours to Live, and they're both dead 24 years later.
Yeah, because the song came out in '97. Yeah. And again, he just died 86 days from his birthday and got the 67 in his birth name. And Blood Sacrifice 6786. Same numbers, same patterns. Dead at 51, his debut album, Life Story 51.
Yeah. Yep. It's just the same numbers we talk about basically every week or basically every day.
Yeah, it's just like every English speaking person should know this by now, man. In the information age, this just happened way too many times. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Like, let me show you what I got real quick on Black Robin. We can wrap it up.
Okay.
Let's see.
Did you see that? Did you see the video I put out before the Super Bowl with Tom Brady's GOAT ritual and how I used the Black Rob Woe song?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, that was odd.
I didn't realize that he was so sick or not doing well when I did that. I mean, I would have never. It's crazy. It's just like a few months later, dead.
Yeah, you did it off the phone. I remember that.
Yeah.
So like I said, the song should have been called 24 Years to Left because the first thing DMX says when his verse comes on is 24 left until my death. It makes you wonder, 24 what? Hours or years? We now know exactly what he meant. X is the 24th letter, and which is, the reflection of 42. So I was thinking, since that's a reflection of 42, that's probably the only way they could get to the 42, If there was a 42nd letter, then obviously you could use it that way. But I think that's the closest way they could get to 42.
Sure.
Is by using X. So 24 Hours to Live equals 47, Rock 47, Legend 47, Pop 47, Radio 47, Time 47, Nas 47, and Nas was 47 years old when DMX died. And Kurt Cobain has a life lesson number 27. From the death of Kurt Cobain to DMX is 27 years and 4 days. So one of the biggest rock stars ever until one of the biggest rappers ever. And the word rituals 27. Kurt is a part of the 27 Club. And I think when you write Shock G's real name in it, in the calculator, I think there's a 27 in there. I'm just going off the top of my head.
Let me see. Shock G.
His real name, I believe.
Okay.
From the day it is
27 forwards and backwards. Yeah, it's also 63 like the year he was born in.
From the day Nas won his first Grammy Award on March 14, 2021, until the day DMX died is a span of 27 days.
Ritual.
And Nas won his first Grammy Award on his 13th album, King's Disease. DMX equals 13. DMX song Party Up is his most successful single in the United States. The song peaked at number 27 on the Billboard Top 200. Nas came out with his first album, Illmatic, 27 years ago. 27 years ago. And Illmatic also equals 56. There are 27 books in the New Testament of the Bible. And so right here, DMX public memorial will be April 24, 2021 at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. This will be on the 114th day of the year. This date also has a numerology of 49. Recall all of the other 49s from earlier. 114 is the LeBron James number, and we expect him to play against the Brooklyn Nets in the same arena. LeBron James equals 114. From the day DMX died until the start of the NBA Finals is a span of 91 days or 13 weeks. And they're having the public memorial in the Barclays Center. And so LeBron James is looking to go 5-6 in the NBA Finals, and the NBA Finals start on a date with 56 numerology. So all I got on Black Rob is Black Rob was a rapper who was born in Buffalo, New York. He was born on July 12th, 1969. This date has a numerology of 107. Ritual sacrifice is 107. He died on the 107th day of the year, April 17, 2021. 107 is the 28 prime number. Black Rob equals 28. It also has a date numerology of 44. Kill equals 44. And Black Rob and DMX are both features on the song 24 Hours to Live, which released in 97, of course, 24 years before 2021. So as far as the Shock G, I don't have anything yet, but that's a good way to start with what you got. Because obviously it's a sacrifice for Tom Brady and the GOAT. And you know, probably a sacrifice in time for Tupac. You know, just because you think of Shock G, you automatically think about Tupac.
It's 25 years later. Death is 25. So.
And Tupac died when he was 25 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. All right, Jonathan. Well, I appreciate all the information as always. We'll do another stream because I'm sure there's a lot more to it. So.
Yeah, just let me know when you want to do it. I'm putting everything together for Shock G now since this just happened.
All right. Yeah, the way things are going, man, we're gonna be busy. So appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night.
Good night.
Same
Peace.
Okay. So we'll do more. And here, let me see. Darrell's texting. What's Darrell saying? Okay. He doesn't want to go off. Darrell's done enough radio. Okay. I'll relay later whatever Darrell tells me about Shock G, assuming he met Shock G. I think there's a good chance they probably did. He has pictures with everybody. Yeah, again, just all the young people out there that are aspiring to be entertainers. I mean, realize, it's going to be in your life story someday. You know, you could be, if you're lucky, you could live to be 57. I mean, look how many of these people we cover that died in their 20s or 30s or 40s. I mean, and a lot of you guys, whenever I look at the chat, you're like, hey, can you go back and look at this one? Can you go back and look at this one? You guys know my two websites and use the search features there. My first blog, freetofindtruth.blogspot.com. That site has over 30,000 Gematria posts. Like almost every rapper death you could ever think of is on there. And then if it's not on there, it's on my new site, GematriaEffect.news. I maxed out my old website, the storage on there, and I didn't want to pay for the additional without it being my own. And so when I started this site. So also, if you guys are new here and you're really into this information, if you come to my website, GematriaEffect.news, and then you click my Patreon link, you don't have to donate any money, but you can just scroll back to the December 24th, 2020 post, and it's got the download link for my books. You can read my books for free. Learn a lot more about this information. So, again, the world needs to know this code. See what's really going on in the world of entertainment. We'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Have a good rest of your night. Or if you're in the other part of the world, good rest of your day. And until next time.